a rage at being someone he perceived as lesser than. That's a different thing. So we can define words in different ways, even within psychology. But let's say we take the definition here of sort of jealousy as being sort of benign, right? The idea that, oh, I might see something that you have that I don't, and I might think, I like that. Maybe I'll work harder to get it, right? Or maybe I can't get it. Maybe it's that you're younger than I am. It's okay, you have that and I don't. So I have other things too. I'm okay anyway. But I might want those things. But it's very benign. It's the jealousy. I'd like to be younger. I'd like to be this. Or whatever it is that we think, right? But it's just a thought. And it's a thought that can result in striving or acceptance, right? It's very, very different. Completely different than envy, which is destructive. It's about I see something that you have that I don't have, right? And instead of me working for it or accepting that I don't have it, what I like to do then is bring you down, take you down to where I am, and then I'll feel better, right? Because from the perspective of envy, it is all relative. Jealousy at times is completely different. There's jealousy potentially like a gateway drug for envy. That's a very slippery slope. Yeah, I think it does is a natural part of the human phenomenon. And it's very right. When we feel like, oh, I'd like to have it, it's not part of our incentive, right? But if I'm farming and I have one row of crops and I look over and I see that you're working harder and you have two, and I'd like to have two, that can make me work harder. You don't think it's slippery slope from one to the other to plus you've got a new hot wife now, with a nice tractor, and the field is all working, and then you get this idea that, what, I'm going to steal all this stuff, I'm going to murder him, and that, there's everything goes into the lead of the same phenomenon. No, because there are things that are in us that's true, right? So the thing is by being timid, we feel guilty, right? In that benign sense, like it's all part of just being human. If we start going from, hey, you have more crops than I have, and that seems like I get a better life in a lot of ways than I have, I'm going to kill you. That is not a progression of something benign, right? That is wait. That is a relief of the same thing, isn't it? If you're drawing a line, some stuff saying like this is human stuff, it's regular life, it's benign, but it feels like this benign thing is just a low magnitude thing version of the thing that's not benign. Like there's probably a gray area with about being like jealousy. You can have like healthy jealousy, you have a little bit slightly unhealthy. It's like the jealous guy, this John Lennon song that I love. And it's like this jealousy inside relationships can make you feel like take your minds in all kinds of silly directions. It's crazy, but like it feels like that's a next door neighbor to like being really crazy, toxic. And that feels like a next door neighbor. It's like an apartment building. That feels like a next door neighbor. Want to make more money when you sell your home? Red Bank sell for more from other homes. Like sitting in the grocery store and cooking a total fresh dinner. Nobody's just wasteful
What's really interesting about this stream is Stinky's listening to a podcast while he's streaming. And so we can hear the podcast that Stinky's kind of listening to as we watch this game, which is cool. I mean, that's exciting. But yeah, we've got a 0-0 ball game, and the Bears are driving on the Packers. Everybody honestly rooted for the Packers in this game. I don't think anybody rooted for the Browns or the Bears. But as of this second, the Packers are in a tough spot up against their own 10. But it is 3rd and 9, so holding them to 3 here would be pretty beneficial, honestly. I think that there's something beautiful about in-division rivalries, and maybe the Bears are trying to start one with an upset win here today, but we're likely going to see a field goal attempt here just to take the lead on a strong drive. It would be really lousy to come away with nothing in this game for this initial drive by the Bears, but hey, Everybody voted Packers in this game of the week, and in the MKL, honestly, it's hard. It's hard competing, and he doesn't have any game sound on. So honestly, there's no crowd noise. There's no nothing. I messaged him, but he's locked in, I guess. So now he's just kind of listening to a podcast. But anyways, 3-0. Packers run back out of the back of the end zone, and we have uh, Stinky Sock prime time. Look, he has single back and gun in this entire formation. That's pretty interesting. Single back and gun is all Stinky can run. It seems like that's fascinating out of a playbook. I've never played in a playbook that only had two things other than like goal line and special teams to call plays out of. So 3-0. Packers get sacked on their opening play on an all-out blitz, taking time for the play action, and there was just really no time. You saw him wind up. He tried to get rid of it, but big sack to open up the game, and the Bears are sort of asserting a early dominance in this game. Looks like he's going to throw it underneath to Mr. Christian Watson. This is kind of like one of those baby DK Metcalfs in the league. If you can dev him right, he has speed, he has size, he's young, and certainly having DK Metcalf is a thrill. Yeah, I think DK is at 97 speed now. But you honestly have a lot of similar things to get excited about with Christian Watson. But we're going to see an early punt here from the Packers. We're waiting for only one game. It's rare that the league waits for only one game that's like the midnight before advance. And so we're just all kind of on the edge of our seats for this game to finish and see what happens. But at this moment, the upset is brewing, because if the Bears can come away with points on this drive, they set themselves up favorably, likely going into the second half. So there's a lot to like about the way the Bears have started this game, and let's see how many people voted for the Packers. There's a lot to dislike for the way the Packers have started this game for 14 people. They get 500 rings if they guess the winner. They get negative 500 rings if they do not. Finds a wonderfully open Tanyan, one of their off-season pickups, and Mr. Tanyan coming up big for Fields. That could be a future pairing we might see in the NFL. I know that the Bears are trying to surround Fields with some talent, and it looks like Nico, the coach of the Bears, has done that here with a superstar tight end in Tanyan. Wonder how much he's been using him this year. That's pretty great. He's got Ebner in the backfield. I honestly don't even know how good Ebner is, but I just don't feel like he can be that good. But maybe he's good. Who knows? Maybe he's a decent player. Big catch, freeform completion to the wide receiver. Blake, is it? Looks like his name is Blake. I think it said he was a superstar. I don't know who Blake is for whatever reason, but Olave, was it Olave? Might have been Olave. Anyways, that was nice. Ebner, the running back. This must be like a rookie, maybe. I've never heard of Ebner. I don't know these teams as well as I thought I might. But the Bears are right back in scoring range. If they could come away with a touchdown here, it might really rattle the Packers, because being in an early 10-0 hole is not fun for anybody. But Stinky's had his fair share of upset losses in his MKL career, and this could be one of them. Finds Ebner on the out route out of the backfield and gets 3 yards. So there's 2 yards that are left to go for a first down, or the Bears would have to settle for 3. And if the Bears have to settle for 3, well, we're looking at a much more favorable moment in time for the Packers, being down 6-0 rather than 10-0. But hey, a turnover is still possible here, so Nico has to take care of the ball. Good play call. Could have gotten another broken tackle, but did not. 4th and 1. I think Nico might opt to go for this. Some people would maybe kick a field goal. But I know that, when you're in big games against your rivals, sometimes 4th and 1 is a long ways. Sometimes you can pick it up, find creative ways to pick it up in those tight situations where you're coming away with 0 or points likely. So they're going to take the points. I think there's a lot of people who wouldn't, and there's some that would take these points. So we're looking at if they make this field goal early, 6-0 deficit, and the Packers need to find something because they haven't had anything just yet. Big sack to open the game for them, and the Bears, honestly, are asserting their dominance here in the first quarter's done, and they are winning the first quarter. Now it looks like they've opted to maybe go for this. I think they maybe had a fake, and when the Packers came out in regular defense, I think they may have changed their mind to maybe call an actual field goal, or maybe they're going to go for it and not call the field goal. It's interesting. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for it. It's 1 yard. You're up 3-0. Nobody's voting for you. This would be a big 1 yard to get, and he certainly can get it. Oh, network issues. Excellent. How exciting. All right, little black box of death. Looks like there was a disconnect here. I think there is a disconnect. Because that was a long... Wow. Maybe... No. Wow. That sucks. That sucks. What a good start for the Bears. And they disconnected. So, hopefully they're okay. But that was a really big bummer for that Bears team, because they're in prime position to maybe do something in this game, and they're not going to do it with the start they got in the last go-around. So, yeah, here we are. Orange Stinky Socks. Here he is. His coach is named E. Ortega. This is great. All right, I guess we're going to go back to this screen because we don't know what the heck is going on now. But yeah, so that was an attempt to cast a game. Looks like the game is paused for now. So we're just hanging out. I don't know. I don't know how to let's leave. We're gonna read the chat. Stinky says, I think it was you. Nico says, lagged out, rebooting. Well, that sucks for Nico, because that was a great start for Nico, possibly going up 10-0. But certainly it was either going to be 10-0 or 3-0 after that 4th and 1 attempt. But we didn't get to see it, which is a bummer. Those are the big moments in games. But yeah, midnight game is going to be restarted here. So what a thrill. I don't know if we're still listening to Stinky's podcast or not. But game of the week, man. Game of the week in the MKL, week 7. What a thrill. Yeah, so I'm looking at the screen here, and it looks like they are not rebooted yet. But yeah, Stinky's upset, man. Stinky is upset about this. But yeah, honestly, we're just going to pop into party, and I'll let them know while I'm in party that I'm also calling the game. And we'll see what happens. It's just Stinky if he wants to be a part of it. Hey, Stinky. Can you hear me? You can indeed. Excellent. So your game just lagged out.
Yeah, dude. Wasn't even me, or something.
I know. It sucked. That was a great start for him. That sucks he lost it. I'm on the stream. I was trying to stream, but you were listening to a podcast about Hitler. So I turned it down because I think it was all about the morality, talking about whether he thought what he was doing was right or not, something like that. But it was still just like a interesting. Yeah, so you were playing a podcast because I told you to turn on the game sound, but there's absolutely no crowd noise or anything, so I just turned it all off. And then we got to see that.
My game volume has always been off. I turn it off whenever I start playing.
Yeah.
Ever since the start of Madden, it's been off.
Gotcha. Well, you're definitely a lot quieter. Anyways. So yeah, man, you're on the cast right now as somebody in the game. Is that exciting?
That is very exciting, man. Maybe I get to cast my own game, man.
Well, it sounds like you do, just because this is where we're at in life. We're at a midnight game of the week that I threw up because we haven't done one for 4 weeks or something. I think you were in the last one though, but I mean, it's just you're the last game, so why the hell not?
I say we put me in the next one too.
Why not? Why not?
Next week.
Why not you be in the game of the week?
I think I play sniper.
Yeah, you should just be in the
same unis as me. What is he doing? What are you doing, dude?
You should just be in the game of the week every week, man. Why? Wait, you're both dark?
I don't know.
Dude, did you just pull your guys away?
Yeah, he's letting him score 3.
Oh, you're recreating, and then you're gonna give him the ball back?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Leagues used to do that. Yeah, it sucks.
I don't care. He asked what we're gonna do, and I just thought, why not, man?
That's right. Why not? Why not, indeed? Yeah,
Do you remember what yard line we were on?
I mean, do I remember what yard line you were on? Let me go full screen. Now that I think about it, I don't think anybody else can even see this because I accidentally never put in, because that was so weird to disconnect midstream. All right. Yeah, so now we're in it. So they've recreated the score now, 3-0, and given the ball back. Actually, they did a really good job of recreating the scenario, except it was in the second quarter. So that's pretty much the only thing you can't really recreate. But big run for this Ebner kid. And then did he go down on his own?
Yeah, man, we're going to 4th and 1.
Oh.
He just gets it a couple yards.
Yeah. So at the time of the disconnect from the last game, it was 4th and 1. And so, yeah, so that's what we're doing here now is we're going to go to 4th and 1. This is going to be, so he has to throw an incomplete pass or something here. So they recreated the scenario, so that's pretty cool. That's great for Nico because he was off to a good start. So now he gets to...
This is amazing for Nico. He gets the ball closer to the end zone.
That's actually true. Your 4th and 1 is a lot closer to the end zone. So he just needs to throw an incomplete, but he might just throw a touchdown here to be a troller. I can't believe he ran it. That was a really bad plan, but at least it's 4th and inches. But inches is...
I don't know why he ran it.
He should have thrown it.
I don't care.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was 4th and 1. Now it's 4th and inches. So on their attempt to recreate things, I guess what we'll say here is Stinky gets a whole nother quarter to take back this game, and Nico then gets inches instead of 1 yard to gain. So we'll see what he does. He was going for it before the disconnect, so it looks like he's going to go for it again. Stinky, what are you looking for here? What do you think you're going to see?
I think I'm currently stuck.
You do look pretty stuck. You're stuck on your linebacker. That was interesting.
Oh no, this is not looking too good for us, man. We look like, yep, no doubt.
Oh wow, yeah, running back was big time open on that play, and Nico indeed gets the touchdown. Stinky, are you like trying to make your league poorer? But you got 14 votes for this game of the week, and right now we're looking at a 10-0 deficit in the first quarter. Should have been second quarter.
How many viewers do we have right now, Region?
What's that?
How many viewers do we have?
Damn, I bet we don't even have a viewer, bro. I think it's possible we don't, but I haven't looked.
This league's dead, bro. We need to. There's no saving this league, bro. That is what it is.
No, man, I'm looking. I can't look and see how many viewers we have because I'm on your streaming elsewhere.
Here, I'll check. Let's see.
It's in a streaming channel.
A hot one watching.
Dude, that's clutch.
God,
that's clutch, man.
This league just
it is. It's midnight, bro.
Don't matter.
It's midnight on a Thursday. It's Friday now. All right, so I did say in my wow, big throw by Love and tipped and almost caught. That was pretty interesting stuff right there. Could have been intercepted, was tipped, and then almost caught and then dropped. So Watson kind of came out of the pile to give it one more try, but they don't like those double tap catches. They can look easy as can be, but they're hard to catch. It can be done. But I'll just say, honestly, the league it's midnight. It's a Thursday. And it's game of the week 7. I think if this was a playoff game, people would be interested. And maybe if it wasn't midnight, some people would be interested. But I think a lot of people
Nah,
would be
dude.
interested to know you're down 10-0 in the first quarter.
Well, I don't think that many people will sadly be able to know that I'm down 10 in the first quarter.
Yeah. So when I look at your offensive set right here, and their defensive set, it looks like you're matching personnel pretty well, and that's something that you see in real football. And you've got a wide open Romeo Dobbs who's running down the field. You got an insta touchdown, Stinky. I mean, is this something that the league needs to be put on notice that you have in your repertoire to instant throw touchdowns out of the kick? You know, when you need them.
I don't think so. I think the league's fine.
You think
The league needs to worry about queer bait.
So we probably shouldn't use that language on YouTube.
Oh, my fault.
But-
the league needs to worry about Seahawks on it.
Yeah, the Seahawks, right? So the Seahawks.
Dude, Ducky sucks. How do you only beat this guy by 1?
Ducky beat the Bears by 1.
The Panthers guy. He only beat the Panthers guy by 1. He sucks, dude.
Is the Panthers guy not good?
Bradley, dude.
Is Bradley like the GM of that Illuminati league or something?
No, the like 5-year-old. I don't know how old he is. I don't know. He just sucks at Madden.
Yeah.
Different Bradley. Just sucks at Madden.
Sucks at Madden. Well, you know what, Bradley? Everybody can improve. Look at Stinky Sock, for example. There was a time, Stinky, when you weren't as competitive as you are today.
Oh, man, I don't think I'm very competitive today.
Well, at least you're lifting weights, man. You're up to like 200 on the bar. Is that right?
200 on the bar. Hey, man, one day.
Are you doing it?
No, I did. I'm doing 165 right now. I can probably do 175.
Like, that's one of the biggest, like, you can't help but have, like, muscles in your chest when you start going to that sort of weight. So it's an easy barometer to, like, actually gain weight and look muscular, is just lifting more of it and many times. Like, some people are like, well, how can it look like that? It's like, well, lift this really heavy thing regularly and do it a lot. You know, it's like, that's pretty much how it works.
My arms are shot right now, man. My arms are fucking feeling it.
Are they pretty built, man? Or do you look like The Rock, or a lesser version of The Rock, maybe?
I'm just saying, like
chucked it deep. Chucked it deep on who?
Jair Alexander.
So on Jair Alexander, this I think it's Chris Olave.
Dude, it's dicing me.
Is that Olave?
Might be. I don't know. All I know is that we're kind of diced up out of one play.
Yeah, I don't know who the heck that guy is, but that throw on it, it shows me that his name is Fields throwing the ball. I want the catches, and they're just
Justin
showing.
Fields?
Yeah, so Fields and Ebner have been doing some good stuff in the last game and then this game that you're going on so far.
Oh, man. Nico's evolved, man.
So Nico has evolved. Nico knows it's game of the week. He knows he can play spoiler. He's been biding his time, and now he's coming out to show everybody just what he can do, including that 2-yard run up the middle, creating a 3rd and 2, man. Like, you're in a tough spot. You might go down 13-7 or maybe 17-7 if you don't clutch up, Stinky. So it looks like AJ Moore is his linebacker, or your linebacker is maybe AJ Moore. And yeah, the Bears come up with a really nice run on an all-out blitz. So I'm gonna put that in my back pocket. I didn't even realize you could get that much space on an all-out blitz run. Great stuff.
This guy really likes emotion in that.
He does. Emotion's in quite a bit. He shows you wide. And it looks like Justin Fields is throwing a dangerous pass over the middle, and it gets caught. That could have been a pick animation, but he bravely throws it to number 11, who takes it into the end zone backwards, kind of backing away from a pathetic kind of hit from one of Stinky's defensive players. Stinky, you're in a tough spot. 17-7. Are you worried about this? Do you feel like this win is in jeopardy? You said Nico has evolved.
We're straight.
Alright, so we're straight. Excellent. So we've got a 17-7 ball game, and Stinky's gonna have to score 11 more points, at least, than Nico for the rest of the game. or else he will lose. That's a fact. They might tie if he scores only 10 more points more than him. Stinky, we saw Romeo Dobbs kind of go crazy. It looks like you might be thinking Watson here. Would I be right to think that? Oh, no.
You might indeed be.
Looks like it's a big-time spinner defense right now from both directions. There's a lot of spinner being called. And that time it seemed to work. It put Love in a tough spot.
Oh,
Is Aaron Rodgers still on your team?
Aaron Rodgers is still on the team.
So you have Aaron Rodgers and you're using Love.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. Why don't you trade Rodgers?
I need somebody to play in the playoffs.
So you are developing Love during the regular season, and then you're saying, hey, Aaron, when I actually want to try to win a Super Bowl, you can play.
Yeah.
That's so magical, man. Like, imagine if that happened in real life. Oh, my goodness, Stinky, bro. That was kind of gross. Triple coverage throw, and Watson just goes up and takes it from the rest. 3 defenders in the area. Watson says, I don't give a crap. Goes up and gets it. 50-yard catch. And this Love back up to Rodgers is thinking big things right now. Looks like he's just going to throw it away wisely. I mean, if he didn't throw that away just slightly, if he threw that away slightly worse, that's an interception. He put very little on that. You remember that one interception, Stinky, where Richard Sherman, the ball was going out of bounds, and he dove out of bounds to throw it back into his teammate who intercepted it?
I don't know that. Oh no. No, I do not.
It was a really awesome play, just because he couldn't catch it, but because he had the presence of mind to know his teammate was right next to him, he tipped it back in bounds to allow him to do so. And that's, yeah, that I mean, maybe you'll get that animation here, man. Maybe your offensive player won't be able to catch it, but he'll tip it back in bounds for your other offensive player. Looks like you're thinking deep, just going up high. Oh my goodness, bro, that's disgusting. DeGuara catches that, and you got a quick touchdown. I mean, I'm learning something, I guess. I didn't even know that was possible. That was wild.
Learn something new every day, man.
DeGuara is not even a good player.
Oh, hey, man, when you're getting coached by Coach Stinky, you know, anybody can become a good player.
Dude, so Coach Stinky can develop any amount of talent. What a thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is a tightly contested game of John Madden football. And you know, Stinky, some have called it possibly the greatest night game of John Madden football that will ever occur on February 23, 2023, between the Bears and the Packers. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, man. I would as well.
Yeah.
You know, especially if how specific we're getting, you know, February 23. I don't know how many night games between the Packers and the Bears are happening currently.
Yeah.
On February 23.
Yeah, and I actually said it's actually the greatest that happens just before or just after February 23, because you're right at the midnight mark. But yeah, man, this is one of the greatest games of all time. If not the greatest, between the Bears and Packers that will ever occur tonight. Oh, big interception, and that might be the killer for this Bears start. I mean, the Packers went down quick and then get the quick pick 6, and that's a quick 14. And the Bears are now reeling, and your rings are looking a little bit safer, MKL members. And you know what, Stinky? Think about this.
Yeah.
How crazy is it that, like, we make Steady the game of the week, everybody votes for him, and he manages to lose? You know, like you make, like, you know, people game of the week. When you get everybody voting for you, do you feel the pressure of everybody voting for you? Like, do you give a damn, like, that everybody is wanting you to win?
Not really. You know, I have a good amount of rings, so I really don't care how many rings other people get. But yeah, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, I
really care.
think you're exactly right. It is what it is, and Mr. Ebner, with a 1-yard run there, and the Bears just have to find another way to get in the end zone because they're down 4, and I have a feeling the Packers and you, Stinky, are not done scoring. But
God, fuck.
all right, so Justin Fields throws it out to the running back, and that was just a wide open route. He cuts back, then it's taken down immediately. But this Field stats, other than that interception, I don't even remember the interception. Oh, it just happened. Yeah, so Field stats are pretty good, but that pick six is possibly going to be the score that divides them if Stinky doesn't score 25, 30 more points or so. Which, prior indication, there's 38 points that have been scored in this game already. So this is a shootout. And we'll see if both teams can keep up in the shootout or if one team pulls away. As of this moment, the Bears are staring at a pretty 1st and 10. They are willing to throw it to their running back in the flat. And that's something that some people are kind of afraid to do. They're terrified to, oh, wow, who is that guy, man? I think he does have a star under his feet, but maybe that's your guy. But I want to see his stats.
Olave.
It is Olave. Okay, so it is Chris Olave, I guess is his name. It kind of looks like Blake on the jersey because it's Olave. So two catches for 96 yards. Olave is playing a role right now for this Bears team, and that route has been difficult for the Packers to stop. With all of these defensive players on the team, man, the running back was wide open, but he goes to the middle of the field and finds a pretty well open Olave. Olave is really asserting himself as a dominant player in this league right now. Already 100 yards and a touchdown through the first quarter of this game. How are you going to find a way to shut down Olave? Do you think Jair Alexander, Denzel Ward, and Eric Stokes are a good enough trio to get it done?
We'll be fine, man. We'll be fine.
That's inspiring. We will be fine, says Stinky. All right, so when I look at the score, I see that you're down. Do you feel like you're down?
Not really, man. I feel like we will suffice and be fine.
So Stinky's confident. Stinky feels like he's a survivor. I think he could survive this as well. I'm a believer. Love is in the backfield getting sacked. There is nothing there. It's kind of holding out for something maybe to come open. The PA go slot cross did not come to fruition there for any gained yards. And this Bears defense starting to hunt a little bit. A few sacks, and they still have David Bakhtiari on this offensive line, one of those prized stud tackles that you can have in this game. So Aaron Jones with the spin, you love to see it. When Aaron Jones spins and it works, that's real life because that's something he definitely does. Stinky, tell me a little bit about, how Aaron Rodgers took the news that you were going to bench him for the entire season just because you don't care about using him in these season games.
I don't know, dude. I think he's in Oregon right now in some darkness retreat. So, guess we'll find out when he gets back, man. Hopefully he's not too mad. No, we do fly him out in some instances, though. If sometimes if a game gets a little too close, I'll contact Aaron Rodgers. I'll fly him out. I'll get him out here. He'll help us take care of business.
I believe you. And I also believe in you to end up the winner of this game. But I do want to say, man, you might need to alter something on defense because this Bears defense or offense doesn't look like it's punted yet.
Oh, it's not good for us.
Relatively open Shepard. You kind of held him up on that route to keep him in bounds, I think. And it almost worked.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That was all stick drift, man. That was all stick drift.
Yeah, why is stick drift a thing right now?
I don't know, man.
I'm having stick drift too.
You would hope.
I've never had that problem. So the Packers are back. Maybe they threw a pick, they think, here. Wow, they swatted it. The Bears have 3 guys in the area. Looks like they maybe have SWAT ball on or something because I don't know if he even clicked on. I couldn't really tell. But the SWAT was just, in my opinion, not what you want to do there. You kind of want to make a big play. But hey, if they swat it again here, Stinky probably has to kick a field goal. Don't think he can go for it. Looks like the defense is there, and that swat worked out. That was a good swat. Up high to that DeGuara guy who's better than I thought, evidently, with the earlier monster touchdown catch. And Stinky Sock is indeed lining up for the field goal, and it looks like it's a fake. You love to see it. Aaron Rodgers just did not have the pizzazz there. He kind of stood up, said, "Why the hell am I the holder?" Immediately got sacked. But it was an exciting play call. And Stinky, those are the sort of calls where people who are putting rings on this game maybe get a little frustrated at the coaching job.
It's not good.
It looks like the Packers have dove on the field face first before that play. Is that like a strategy to dumb out the CPU, to think that you don't exist because you're like dead on the ground? You Damar Hamlin right before the play, and then you get back up, and you're like, oh, I didn't think I had to block him. I thought he was down.
Sadly, that was not the team pulling a Damar Hamlin, and indeed a error.
Dude, if you did pull a Damar Hamlin, we could just find a way to cancel this game outright, which was a wild thing. It ruined a lot of fantasy leagues.
Indeed,
Literally canceling a game in the playoffs. A lot of teams were in their championship week, so that was a pretty wild thing to do.
You know, I think we know what play Mister is going to.
The running back out route. I have no idea, man. Looks like he does enjoy audibling around in this.
But what is he doing?
I don't know. It looks like a really nice run play though. I don't know how good his offensive line is, but that hole was awesome. 0-1 trap. Gotta love that run. Yeah, honestly, Stinky, man, like, for real though, like, you should probably clutch up and win so we can all get rings, man.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure, but, like, some people are feeling poor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the Packers are hanging out, man, and the Bears are also hanging out, waiting to see what they're going to do. And good defense of the out route. That running back's like kind of out route has been killing the Packers defense so far tonight. But that was not one of the plays where it worked out to perfection. Only 2 yards gained in field goal range, barely. The Bears had to be careful to get points, or the Packers need to seize an opportunity to get turnover. I think that Justin Fields is a quarterback that we typically see run. We haven't seen that yet today, Stinky. Is that something you're looking out for?
Nah.
So no worrying about Justin Fields taking off and running, which is completely not real life. That's pretty much the only thing you worry about with regards to Justin Fields, is his taking off and running. So this game won't allow you to be Justin Fields. You have to pretend Justin Fields is, I don't know what, like Justin Herbert, rather. And just sit back and take passes. So Fields is going to hand the ball off. Really nice hole again out of the backfield. And it looks like the spinner defense, man. It's like whenever I've seen spinner in inside zone gains yards. So for whatever reason, you would think that spinner would be a really hard thing to run against, but evidently not. But Justin Fields, 3rd and 3, they're thinking probably field goal or first down. If they can't get it here, it's field goal. So we're looking at the outside, up over the middle, and he drops it. So that's that guy, Mooney. He had a really bad season in the NFL this year, but last year they thought he was going to be a stud. Maybe he can rise back up to that occasion this next year. But in the MKL, he's being utilized by Coach Nico, hoping to sink a kick right here. Maybe he'll fake it and get sacked. Nope. He kicks a kick. So, Stinky, do you wish you had those 3 points back?
Nah.
So, Stinky does not miss those 3 points that he missed out on there earlier with that cool fake, because we like to see fakes. But when all of our rings are on the line, maybe we get a little bit less happy about a fake. But they are both wearing dark jerseys. That's something that, honestly, I think is a factor. Do you feel like it's harder to play against the same color jersey, Stinky?
know, man.
Well, so Stinky says he doesn't know if it's harder to play
Fuck!
against the same color jersey. He's laying back and gets sacked, intercepted. Jeez. So a lot of us are sad about the way this game has started, but not Nico. Not Nico. Looks like we're getting Aaron Rodgers back into the game. And thank God, right? Because Aaron Rodgers is an X Factor quarterback with at least 4 abilities at 87 overall. So maybe Nico doesn't realize the quarterback change has been made, but he probably doesn't care that much yet because he's looking to try to go up by 13, maybe 14 if he opts to go for 2, or maybe just 3 points if he can't get it in the end zone here. Ebner did not see a hole. He was running straight up into the back of a lineman for about a second and a half, and that's not going to get you anywhere. So we're looking at a second and goal. I honestly don't think that he would pass here. I might be wrong. If he does pass, it's probably in the flat to the running back, but good defense by Stinky here. Have you noticed they don't declare people down while they're clearly on the ground for a while? Like I've gotten back up sometimes.
They don't do a lot of things.
Yeah, EA sucks. I think a lot of us know that. But we've got the Bears and the Packers. Close game. Third and goal. He's only gone backwards handing the ball off. But, yeah, okay, you saw Justin Fields try to kind of take off there. Looks like Stinky Sucks is going to utilize that timeout. And the Bears, the turnover by the Packers only grants the Bears 3 points. So, a 9-point deficit at the half. Stinky, how are you feeling about that? You think you're going to shrink that deficit here in a minute?
Sure, man.
Maybe on this kick return. Maybe return it?
Nah.
Maybe you should, though. Maybe kick returning is the way that you're going to score. Damn it. Never mind. That dream is dead. But we're going to see Stinky sack out of the shotgun. Stinky, I noticed your playbook only has single back and shotgun. That's wild. I've never been in a playbook like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't play a lot of playbooks that don't utilize fullbacks in various formations. And yours is pretty much an homage to the only ones that don't. Throws it away, but it is Aaron Rodgers now. So there is hope for those of us who have 500 rings slowly evaporating out of our wallets and into the wallets of nobody, because nobody voted for the Bears. But 1,000 rings is on the line. So Stinky Sock could get 1,000 rings. Throws it up deep to Mr. Shepard. I don't know who Shepard is, but he didn't come down with that. Double coverage. How tall is Mr. Shepard, Stinky?
He's a midget.
So he throws it up to a midget in double coverage. And we've got Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. Looks like there's a lot of plays going on here. I love that play. That's a play I used to love. I don't remember what it's called. So it looks like Aaron Rodgers cannot get the ball off, and they're going to sack. It looks like a lot of people are slated to lose rings at this point, fellas, because the Bears have another 2 timeouts at their disposal in 30 seconds. They're on their own 13, the Packers are, to punt. They can't go for it here. They already did a fake. And going for it would probably be not fruitful. This O'Donnell kid just punted a boomer to like the 30-yard line, and we're going to see if the Bears can get any of this back. They kind of try inside-out move. They get to about the 44, so 20 seconds to get about 25 more yards and get in field goal range. Stinky, how are you going to stop him from doing that? You going to blitz? You going to sit back and cover? What you thinking?
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Exciting. So Stinky's just going to let us see, and certainly we are going to see. So we're all watching the stream here.
We're not going to get a stop. What the fuck? How's he fucking getting open off one dumbass play?
Olave continues to get open, and yeah, that's a big one. For whatever reason, Olave gets big time open on this fade out play, and it's happened a few times now. And the Bears are in a big hole now. I mean, the Bears are up big going into halftime. 16 points. I mean, that's when the game started out, we're kind of like, okay, Bears got a hot start. And then as the game continued, we're like, okay, Bears are now losing. And now, bam, the Bears are up 16. And the Packers are in a tight spot. Who received first, Stinky?
I did.
So Stinky received first. He's in a 16-0 hole. And a lot of people might be surprised if you don't end up pulling this out, Stinky. Under center Rodgers. Looks like he's got that whole I can see your route business going on right now. And Rodgers kind of sidearms it up high, and Watson drops it. But, I mean, we've seen Watson come down with passes like that before, I think earlier in the game, but not there. And that throw was wild, man. Like, I don't know why they can't have an accurate-looking charge up the throw animation, because, like, Rodgers would literally never throw that pass like that. All right, so under center, 7 seconds. Really, the biggest thing Stinky needs to do is not get a turnover. It looks like he's blocking literally everybody to throw it to square, and he gets hit in the backfield, and his wide receivers triple teamed. There's 2 seconds left. Very, very interesting strategy. Block everybody, send one, and he still didn't have enough time to get the throw off. So that may tell you a little bit about the state of Stinky's offensive line, maybe. This pressure has been pretty insane for the Bears team. And it looks like Stinky's just going to heave it up, maybe hope for that animation for the penalty. It is going to get picked off. User lurk, and the Bears, if they scored here, would be elated. But we'll see how good the stick skills are for Mr. Brisker. Would he toss it backwards? He will not. That's a pretty dominant start to the game for the Bears and their coach Nico, and 14 people who have voted so far are sweating bullets, man, because 500 rings, that's 2 weeks of tweeting, Stinky, that you will erase from our bank accounts.
Wow, it's a lot.
I mean, 2 weeks in this league can be 4 or 5 days. So you're taking food out of the mouths of our MKL imaginary children by not clutching up. But you are going to have to kick off to them. I think Pat O'Donnell used to be a Bear, which is interesting because now he's on your team. So we're looking at Pat O'Donnell kicking off to his former team, down 16, maybe having feelings that he wishes he were still a Bear so he could be in the winning circle after this game. But I'm interested to see what you change up, Stinky, because what you've done so far has put you in a 16-0 hole at the half. Stinky's done talking. Stinky's off of the chat. He's ready to clutch up. He doesn't want any more of this losing business, and he's ready to turn this story around, which is inspirational. It looks like maybe Stinky's back. But we've got Stinky defending the run. 9-yard gain on this HB quick base by the Bears offense. This Ebner guy, man, like looking really, really strong in the run game today. In big spots, Ebner has found the hole. I have no idea who Ebner is, honestly. But it looks like he's going to run it again with Mr. Ebner. And honestly, time is on the Bears' side here. So if they can just run the ball, take care of it, it's hard for the Packers at this point to score 17 points before the end of the game more than the Packers. So looks like going to go over the middle to Mooney, and that was a really nice read, honestly, by Justin Fields. And this Bears team is kind of asserting itself right now. I mean, this is hey guys, I know I tanked year one, but we're competing now because Stinky Sock is on many people's short list of contenders. And right now he's in a tight spot.
Runs inside zone.
Yeah, dude, that was a pretty nice run though. Very, very patient. 16 for 68, 0-1 trap on the handoff, and really finds the hole well there to the tune of a first down. And honestly, like if he could get 3 points here, that puts Stinky in a 19-point hole, and that's a really tough one to climb out with. That's practically that's 3 scores right there. So 3 scores means 3 stops, 3 touchdowns, for the most part. So we're gonna see what happens. It's gonna be an interesting finish, 46-yard line. And Stinky Sock is on defense. We've got Nico on offense. Looks like an all-out blitz is coming, and Fields maybe takes off for his first run of the game. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Fuck?
A lot of audibling happening in this game.
Inside fucking zone.
So inside zone is really hard right now for this Packers team to stop. Even on all-out blitz, the blitzers go right by the hole, evidently, or right by the running back. And it's pretty wild. I mean, I don't even know how he's able to run inside zone so much. It sounds like he has just a lot of formations with it.
He flips every play.
So we've got a flip on the play, and looks like that'll maybe screw with some man defense concepts or something. I don't know.
Holy shit!
And
Bitch.
looks like Fields is going to chuck it up deep and intercepted by Jair Alexander. Big play for this Packers defense. And I mean that was one of those plays where maybe the Bears wide receiver Olave, I think, finds a way to come down with it. That time the superstar cornerback says, "No, I'm pretty good at this game," and gets the interception. So Stinky can come off this drive with a touchdown. This game would look drastically different, and a big mistake by that Bears offense, who is clearly knocking on the door of a 19-point lead. Now they're only holding a 16-point lead without the ball. So going to be interesting to see how Stinky takes this interception and maybe hopefully gets into the end zone. And so Aaron Rodgers, I know he's 2 for 7 if you just tuned in, but he just entered the game because Stinky doesn't play Aaron Rodgers. He's trying to develop love for when Aaron Rodgers inevitably retires, which is interesting, and it may indeed work out for him because Aaron Rodgers will retire at some point. Looks like he's just going to take the hit there. Doesn't have time in the pocket. And cover 4 drop contain versus some streaks, some concepts of verticals. And we still have 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in this game. And 16-point lead remains firm. The Packers need to move down the field, maybe get into field goal range. I saw the X receiver, but I didn't see that guy, but he was pretty open as well, but the throw was just off the mark. And I mean, what can you say? I mean, Aaron Rodgers can't make that throw in real life, right? It's difficult to be accurate when you're Aaron Rodgers, so we get it. But he doesn't connect on the throw there. Pretty open receiver along the middle. Maybe there was some pressure coming in. We do know that there's been quite a few sacks and hits in this game. Maybe it's got him rattled. I don't know if that factors in at all. It probably should, but because it should, it probably doesn't factor in. Looks like he's going to chuck it to that DeGuara guy. Not a good player, but he's having a good game. And Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. Multiple concepts. Stinky's kind of letting us know he doesn't know what's going on just yet, but these blitzes are getting home. Yeah, these blitzes are getting home on Stinky, and he is kind of. It sounds like Stinky has kind of underestimated his opponent today, because there's a lot of disbelief in his statements. He's kind of saying like, "How is he doing this right now? Like, I don't understand how he's even good. Like." He's shocked because we all saw that season that propelled the Bears high in the drafts as far as their draft pick. And this year they're looking to compete a little bit more, obviously, because they have this game in their grasp at this point. There's no denying that. And it's 4th and 1, and the Packers are probably going to go for this because they're down 16. Don't think they can field goal kick this. But it's interesting nonetheless to realize that Stinky's on the ropes here. Like, this is a moment where if he doesn't get a first down, like, he's looking at probably 2 minutes more off the clock, and he will have to probably erase this 16-0 deficit or 16-point deficit in a single quarter. So he really wants to get this. We know that, and it's going to be interesting to see how he comes about doing it. Going to do a quick out, and Shepard comes down with it. Big completion for Stinky, and he stays alive because honestly even 3 points is better than 0 there, and he was maybe just outside of field goal range for his kicker. I don't know. Stinky's not the best kicker, they say, so maybe he's well aware of that. And looks like maybe triangle's coming open.
How to blitz.
Yeah, the blitz is coming home, man. It sure is. Like, it's
just randomly like fucking playing queer bait all over.
Yeah, it's pretty tough right now on Stinky Sock. This blitz has been a menace, and It'd be interesting to see, the ins and outs of maybe what's going on here. It looks like it's a quarters concept or something, and it's spread out real wide. And for some reason, those defenders are getting home. Nowhere to throw there for Rodgers, and they might have to settle for 3. And honestly, 3 would get them to 13, and that's better than 16. So, a minute 50 to go in the third quarter. Nico's having the game of his life in the MKL. We made it a game of the week. We honestly weren't sure what type of game it would be, but right now it's a pretty intriguing one because this is not what 14 people thought it was going to happen, and nobody voted to see this happen right now. Looks like we're dropping back. Don't see much. Rodgers is going to take off. I'm kind of blown away. The speed there was surprising, and he did gain some yards there. It looks like Stinky Sock is like, yep, we're still going for it. We're going to throw it again, and Nico is going to likely drop back into pass coverage and hope that he shuts down this passing offense. Been one of the best passing offenses for the last couple of years, and he has him in a tight spot. So 4th and 8 is a huge spot. We know Aaron Rodgers can do it. We know Aaron Jones can do it. I mean, heck, we know Watson can do it. Are we going to see an unlikely hero? Are we going to see Dobbs? Are we going to see DeGuara? What can Shepard do on this play to secure this first down? Maybe a touchdown from Jones here in the slot? That'd be fascinating. Great out route find for Shepard. And the midget, as Stinky lovingly referred to him as, comes up huge. That's what you had to see in that spot for Aaron Rodgers and Coach Stinky, and that's what you got. So, looks like there's a lot of different route concepts on this play. A lot of exciting things are going on. But, oh man, just outside the grasp of Christian Watson on that throw. And, you can't expect Aaron Rodgers to complete open passes in this game. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, we all know, he struggles to make big-time plays in the NFL. So it makes sense that he would miss that throw right there. But, hey, man, we're hoping as voters in this league, as guys who are hungry for rings. I mean, people say, hey, this league is dead. And it's like, well, is it? Because there's a lot of people begging for rings. Big touchdown pass. Great clutch find by Coach Stinky. By Aaron Rodgers coming in to try to save the day for the incumbent starter, Love. And it looked like we got a show of solidarity on the field right there. Aaron Rodgers is possibly going to run this play, which is exciting. The possibility. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but he's setting up for a pass. We'll see if anything changes. I'd love to see Aaron Rodgers run, to be honest. Looks like he is going to pass, and I'm not sure it's there. Oh, it is. It is, and it's that DeGuara guy. Everybody, it's a one-score game. Just like that, Stinky, he clutches up, and Nico has to be feeling a little bit of the pressure right here. He's had a lot of good drives. He had one pick six, and another pick six here would be disastrous, but he does, in many respects, need to get at least another 3 points to secure this win at this point. 7 points would be huge. 0 points would be a disaster, especially against what we just saw. The Packers kind of found some rhythm going into that moment. So 29-37. The Bears need defense here. They got to hope that some of their big-time players like Denzel Ward can come up with a big play. Ebner's running strong up the middle for 4 yards. So 4 yards times 3, that's a first down, folks. So you got to stop people for less than 4 yards. That's kind of the spot. If you can average 3 yards, that means if we hand it off to you 3 times, you're punting. 4 times, well, we're rolling. So they have to like what they're seeing. I'm thinking they're probably going to run again right here. But yeah, the Packers kind of feel like they have like something set up, and then they're like, oh crap, like it's kind of screws up the coverage maybe. And looks like Fields tried to take off. So that was a chess match, everybody. Big chess match right there. But wow, we see the third quarter come to an end. So the Bears are switching it up. They're trying to confuse this Packers defense. Packers defense makes a quick adjustment there, and it confuses the Bears enough to where Justin Fields tries to take off. But because this game is so messed up and not even close to real life, he has no real threat to run in this game unless you do something drastic and maybe call a QB run. It's really hard to scramble, and that doesn't make sense because that's literally what Justin Fields is excellent at. But we're looking at a 3rd and 8. This is huge. If the Packers can clutch up here, looks like they might. They sure do. And the Packers are going to force the punt. Down 8 in the fourth quarter. I mean, Stinky, this game had disaster written all over it. He was in field goal range. Could have gone up 19 points on you. You get a turnover, a touchdown, and now you're looking at an 8-point game with the ball. I mean, you're doing exactly what you need to do to this point, Stinky. So we've got the 35-yard line. Stinky Sock is trying to clutch up. He's not trying to lose this game. He wants 1,000 rings. Heck, he's had to endure me just sitting here talking in his ear while he's playing the actual game. And so Aaron Rodgers rolls back and takes a 9-yard sack, and that makes the drive a lot harder right here. So it looks like maybe that was Carl Lawson. That would have been a good offseason pickup for him, maybe from the Jets. Aaron Rodgers unloads, and it is swatted. That Shepard guy couldn't get it over top. And we're seeing a lot of cover 4 drop contain on the field, and it's done a good job to this point. But then there's been some really strong blitzes as well mixed in. We might be seeing a blitz here.
Dude, we fucking suck.
Looks like there's not, but Aaron Rodgers throws over the middle, gets picked by Brisker. Brisker is running to the end zone. People are diving at his feet. He holds up, and he's on the 31-yard line with the 8-point lead. I mean, honestly, at this point, a field goal is a great outcome for Nico and these Bears. A bad outcome for 14 voters and Coach Stinky. But, I mean, that's the throw you couldn't make there, and unfortunately it was made.
Dude, why we play that every other game? Why are we not playing that?
So we're looking at inside zone handoff, and we get to 2nd and 6. I mean, these are huge downs because Stinky holding to 0 or 3 is far better than giving up a touchdown here. But a lot of adjustments by this Bears team. Hands it up the middle, and it ends up only getting a couple yards. So if Stinky can hold him to 3 here, or 0 possibly, maybe get the turnover, maybe turn strip ball on or whatnot and just get that football, they have another shot. But it's going to be tough if they end up going down 11, or God forbid for some of us, if they end up going down 16, that's going to be really tough. Big sack by that Packers defense, and this is not a sure thing field goal. I know the Bears, the Browns coach has missed a field goal of this distance just recently. Stinky's trying to kind of distract with Walker, doing a little dance in the middle of the field, trying to say, hey, look at me, don't make this kick. And Nico clutches up and drains the kick. So we're looking at a 11-point lead in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes left. There's only one road to victory for the Packers, and that's a touchdown and likely another touchdown unless he goes for 2. It's gonna be a tough road, but we know Stinky Sock can do it. We've seen Stinky Sock clutch up before. I think it's all about time in the pocket right now. You know, like, does Stinky think that he can get this ball off, you know, in a hurry? Because every time Stinky's trying to drop back for a long, deep pass, he's had very little success. But some of that underneath stuff, like the play you just saw, might end up being open, just because nothing really materializes down the field for long distance, it seems. Not in the first 4 quarters, anyways. So we're looking at Aaron Rodgers calling the shots, trying to get this comeback going. And the Bears are probably thinking, okay, you can score, but we'd like for it to take you a while. R1 coming open. Mr. Watson gets out of bounds, and if we see a quick score, the Packers are right back in this game, but they would need a big stop, massive stop. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see that score first. We know Stinky can pull it out of a hat. We've seen him do it before. He's in this shotgun. He's hoping somebody's coming open. He's going to throw it to X. X is going to catch it. X is into the end zone. Free-form completion. That's Madden 23 football after the plethora of glitches they've given us this year. Great throw by Aaron Rodgers. An even better catch to catch it and make sure you get into that end zone before you take contact. Love to see it. He's going to go for 2. This puts him down 3 points. Makes a lot of sense because if not,
there is no way you
need a
did
field goal
not
anyways.
get in.
That's crazy. Aaron Jones does not want it. If Aaron Jones needs like reach for it or something, because he's right at the end zone and he just sort of said, "Nah, somebody touched me. I'm gonna stop right here at centimeters to goal," and he sure did. That was a shocking goal line stop. But hey, let's just say this: this is the desired outcome for these Packers because they are now within one score and they're down. And at one point, it looked like they were about to go down 19 points. So the comeback is on, but the Bears want to thwart it, and they're making the adjustments. The Packers haven't seen this trips left look a lot, but they did seem to know that inside zone handoff was coming there. They shoot the gap, meet him in the hole, 1 yard gain, and the Bears need to understand something right here. This is probably where you're going to win or lose this game, and it's not going to be because you were not bold enough. It's probably going to be because you got too bold. It's a tough ask to tell anybody if they're down 5 to get a stop, get the ball back, and get a touchdown. But it's much easier if you throw a pick 6. Now, it's much easier if you fumble the ball or whatnot. But big run there by Mr. Ebner. That time is ticking off the clock. Maybe he doesn't know he can drain the clock quicker or something. Turn on drain clock at this point under 4 minutes or 3 minutes and 30 seconds, something like that. But draining the clock is certainly something that would be ideal for most offenses in this part. Looks like he might press hike before the 20 seconds really ticks down, and he sure does. Swings it out to the running back. Stinky Sock is there to meet him, and we're going to see a punt. Stinky is going to have a chance to erase this 5-point deficit because I do not believe that the Bears are able to go for it in this situation, unless in the fourth quarter anybody can. Is that right, Stinky?
No, he can go for it.
So he can go for it. The Packers are calling their bluff. They're saying, hey, you can kick it anywhere, just don't get a first down. Sure enough, the kick is off. Packers ain't going to catch that. Good thing they didn't attempt to catch it. I think that was a disaster waiting to happen. They get it on their own 6. So a great punt, but that's not what the Bears were hoping for. They were hoping to drain that clock and win this game with the ball in hand. Now it's going to be asked to do it of their defense. So there's 500 rings on the line for all 14 of us that voted for Stinky. And Stinky has a chance to give us 500 rings all in our stockings above the fire. But there is 1,000 rings to be had for the Bears. And 1,000 rings is looking pretty good right now for the Bears and their chances. But that's a really nice gain by Stinky Sock. That DeGuara guy, not a good player, but having a good game. And so Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. Looks like it's going to be a little bit RPO action. And he does throw it. I think the run was there, but he throws it, gets a 2-yard loss, unfortunately. And we're gonna see how he gets down the field. There's 14 seconds. All their timeouts. The Bears too have all their timeouts, but they're unlikely to call any of them here. Aaron Rodgers takes off. You love to see it, and the slide. Let's go. That was an exciting scramble. I wish I had time to scramble like that because Ritter would get there quicker than Rodgers, but I just don't scramble. I'm terrified to do it. I fumble every time I do it. Aaron Rodgers says, to hell with that. I'm going to scramble. Does it himself. Looks like Stinky Sock is in another RPO. He hands it off. The hole is somewhat there. Fights for yards that time, not on the goal line earlier, or else Stinky would be feeling a lot more optimistic. But he's down 5 instead of 3 because of Aaron Rodgers' puniness on the goal line attempt earlier. Another RPO handoff. Aaron Jones fighting forward, gets to inches, 3rd and inches. I think you can quarterback sneak this one, Stinky, if you want to be sure. But Stinky probably thinks he can make an inch on a play regardless. But it's not about making an inch. It's about getting into the end zone in 1 minute and 25 seconds. He hands it off to Jones. Jones weaves in. Jones weaves out. Jones is streaking to the end zone. And the Bears are losing this football game. The Packers are inevitably going to go for 2. Stinky Sock runs the ball with me, Ragin, a runner, on the call. That was so exciting, Stinky. I mean, just watching you gallop to the end zone on such a beautiful run and throw the 2-point conversion. Stinky, this is one of your most clutch victories of all time if you can pull this out. What were you thinking on that run?
Whether I should have gone down early or not.
Yeah. So at this point, we've seen that the Bears can score the ball. I mean, they've scored 40 points tonight, and that might be their highest output of the year. I have no idea, but it's a lot of points. It might be my highest output if I scored 40 at some point. That's a lot of points, but they are still down to 43 points from these Packers, who have had an exciting comeback. This is one of the better This has turned into one of the better game of the weeks, which is pretty cool. But we'll see if Stinky Sock can pull it out here, because we've seen Justin Fields chew up this field in a hurry with some deep shots, and it looks like this Packers team has given up the middle of the field, and they are close to field goal range already. They have all 3 timeouts, and Mr. Tanyan was the right man for the job on that play call. Right up the field, there was a hole. He finds him in it, and this is maybe the best Nico has played in this league. And Stinky's kind of it's the welcome to the league moment for Nico playing well, because we haven't seen him play this good with one of our contenders. Exciting to see one of the guys from my old league. Justin Fields is looking deep, and Olave is now streaking to the end zone. He's going to wait a little bit longer, 30 seconds, and the Bears have now pulled off the miraculous comeback from the Packers' miraculous comeback. Now the Packers are going to be in a really tight spot, 31 seconds, down 4, and we were feeling optimistic for a second. But we did not feel optimistic as that ball left the air. Just as Stinky Sock said on cast, he got bumped. The cornerback was not on coverage, and a superstar can only do so much. The ball that's almost a disaster, but the ball decides to trickle a few inches further into the end zone. And Stinky Sock needs his best stuff. I guarantee you, the only thing the Bears care about right now is deep and maybe the edge of the field. But the Packers have all 3 timeouts. I feel like attacking maybe the middle of the field here would be their best bet. But what the hell do I know? I generally don't clutch up in these situations. I'll hand it off and hope it'll work. But right now we're looking at a lot of different route combinations. We'll see what Stinky Sock hopes works. Goes quick on the out. That's a really kind of smart play. Chews up 9 yards quickly. And that's good football. He's getting him ever closer to at least a heave to the end zone. And you need to get 9 yards before you often can get 60. But it's 60 yards. We'll still have to march 56 yards to be in fact. Aaron Rodgers is hoping that maybe Circle's getting open. Circle's thinking of being open, but he can't come down with that one. That was a tough catch, but it's a catch I've seen in this league. But Romeo Doubs was not the man for the job. Is he a star, Romeo Doubs?
A normal.
He's just a normal, but Romeo Doubs got a lot of hype in fantasy and in the NFL this year as maybe a guy that could break onto the scene, be a guy for Aaron Rodgers. In this game, has a big touchdown catch. 3rd and 1, guys. I mean, this is exciting stuff. Running back's going to be streaking up the middle of the field. That's kind of an exciting route. Going out route, looks like he found the open man. My goodness, 42-yard line, 16 seconds. The Bears are trying everything. They did a cover 2 blitz, so they kind of gave up that out route, but there was maybe more pressure on the field. Didn't matter for Aaron Rodgers there. So 16 seconds, 40 yards. To be perfectly frank, neither team feels great at this moment. But R1 might indeed come open here. And he does! The touchdown pass by Stinky Sock. Stinky Sock, once again, after his last clutch comeback, makes an even more clutch comeback. He's up 50-47 with a dime to Christian Watson. And the Bears got to be sick, just like the Packers was sick 30 seconds ago on the play clock. I mean, we've seen the lead change 3 times in the last minute here. To Nico, to the Packers, to Nico. I guess that's 4 times. Yeah. So Nico went ahead, then the Packers went ahead, then Nico went ahead. Now the Packers got ahead. That's 4 times in the last 3 minutes or 2 minutes. I don't know. Crazy game. The Packers are thinking one thing. We are not giving up a bit long route to Olave today. Like that's not going to happen anymore. But I mean, maybe Olave has other plans, but they're backing up their whole defense. The pass rush is thinking, hey, let's get home before he can heave it too far. But hey, they got all 3 timeouts, so the whole field is open for them to maybe get a field goal. But they are going to heave it deep into triple coverage. No, wow, he kind of got tossed there. I don't think it was pass interference, but it could have been pass interference because that's the sort of thing that just kind of looked wonky a little bit. But at 5 seconds here, he really needed that last pass to be a completion, and it needed to go probably to the 40-yard line. So at this point, I mean, you're thinking miracle. You need some sort of a penalty to get you into field goal range, or some miracle long touchdown, or maybe a catch to get you into field goal range. But 5 seconds is just not really enough time to traverse that much ground. But they're going to try to do it. They go down. Stinky Sock with the miracle comeback. Very, very exciting game of Madden football. Not what I expected. But I'm glad it turned out to be the game that it was. Stinky, man, how do you feel after that clutch win?
All right.
So Stinky feels all right. I feel kind of like that was cool to see. Like that was one of those great games. And Stinky does what we all voted for him to do, but it didn't come easy. Nico really showed out, had a really impressive showing. And Stinky, just make sure all the forces are set and you can advance, my man.
Alrighty.
And make sure you turn off injuries, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that was a great game of the week for sure. Early on, Stinky in a hole. Then there was a disconnect. Then they recreated the score, which actually added another quarter of game to the game by recreating the score. And honestly, I think recreating the score, it gave Stinky Sock enough time to clutch up, figure it out, because he got an additional quarter to kind of figure it out. But hey, they both agreed to these terms, and Stinky came through, and it was pretty awesome, man. I'm very impressed by the offense at the end of the game for both teams. I mean, both teams hit each other with haymakers. Stinky comes out on top. Congrats, Stinky, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was the MKL Week 7 Game of the Week. You know, I hope you all stay beautiful. Have a wonderful night. Friday's coming, then the weekend. Yeah, guys.